What do we need to know to deepen our inner spiritual practice or our inner wisdom? Kim, we are so excited about this question. First, let's talk about garbage in, garbage out, a phrase you haven't used in a long, long time, but you used to say to your students all the time. What you feed your mind and soul with shapes who you become. What are you feeding your mind and soul? What are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you watching on TV? Or better phrased, on your screens? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What is the energy of those around you? Do they ground you and inspire you? Does their vision excite you and help you soar? Or do they put you down and make you feel sad, lost, and inexplicably angry? Who are your mentors? If you can learn from just one person, who would it be? We want you to tell them about your board of directors. And I responded, but I don't know the whole board yet. I only have 10 members so far. Tell them anyway. And there. People need to know their board of directors. That will help them be grounded. Automatic write to each of your board of director members. Well, that's hard to say. Find out what guidance they have for you and let them learn what board arguments look like when spirits argue with each other. That is something for you to learn too, Kim. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. You need to have your skills in place for what is coming. So let's talk about the board of directors really fast. The board of directors are 12 entities that sit around a board table inside my head. And are they really there? I have no idea. Are they made up by me? Maybe. One of them is Joan of Arc, and I have to tell you, whenever I ask her about a boy, she's just like, I couldn't care less. This is not my purview. Go ask somebody who cares about boys, which I find hilarious. I mean, she's definitely on the board for a reason. I love Joan of Arc. So Joan of Arc's on the board. Some of my guides are on the board. The guides I know, at least. Jane Austen is on the board. I think Jane Austen's on the board. I don't have my list of board members with me because as I was typing this, I didn't realize I was going to get into the board. And I only have 10 members so far. I haven't figured out the other 2 yet. I've been reading a bunch of Ascended Masters books, and I've been reading a bunch of, there's a Doreen Virtue book called Archangels and Ascended Masters that I just started looking at. And I'm like, man, everybody in here could be on the board. Lady Portia and Saint Germain are on the board, as is, oh, his name just went out of my head. I'm so sorry. And he just told me he's not offended. Oh, okay. I'll let that go. He's intentionally made it so I can't remember his name. There's that. But he's on the board, and he's intense. So there are a number of board members who are in place, who are there to guide me, and I could sit and just, sit down with the board and be like, what do I need to know about my business? What do I need to know about where I'm heading with marketing? What do I need to know about who I'm going to hire as my next administrative assistant? These are questions to answer. So, and then I can automatic write with them, or we could just have a whole big board meeting. And in the book that this all sort of comes from, but not really, because like I said, I've been learning this with John Paul Jackson since the early 2000s. But there is a book that I read relatively recently called Awe, The Automatic Writing Experience, by Michael Sandler. And he brings you in through how to do this, how he does it. And Sandler. And he talks about how he has people who come together as his board members, and they argue with each other. And he says that he sometimes has Abraham Lincoln arguing with one of the Adams. Sam Adams? John Adams? Not really sure which one. So do I know that arguments between board members are totally possible? Yes. And do I think Jane Austen would argue with Joan of Arc? Yes. I think they would get into some very interesting discussions. So there we are. I guess that's it for me.